Hello, hello. Welcome, Babyliciouses. How are you all? It is so exciting to speak to you all again. We today are going to be covering the Traitors India, Season 1, Episodes 4 to 6. I am the most faithful of faithful. Yeah, you can fucking see me. Look at my fucking face. I am here. And joining me, how dare she show her face? We love her. The most iconic traitor from the Traitors New Zealand, Jane Massey. How are you?
Hi, Annabel. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just sat here hoping I'm not going to...
Oh my gosh. Okay. There is a lot of just like self-harm talk in these 3 episodes.
That's way too much. Yeah, exactly. We'll get on to that. But anyway, yeah, it's great. Love the episode. So yeah, let's chat about it. There's a lot to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. Before we get started, let's just do some housekeeping. So, first of all, thank you to everybody listening. If you're loving our podcast, if you've just discovered us, hi, we cover the Traitors, all things Traitors. Please tell your friends, leave us a rating and review. We're also over on YouTube. You can watch this Babes on the Brink over there. And this week, shout out to Zach. Zach messaged me after the last podcast, also rooting for an Ashish win. Same girl. Rest in peace. Emphasis on rest. And Zach reached out to let us know that he spotted an editing mistake in episode 3 where we see Mukesh opening an envelope. And yes, spoiler alert, Mukesh does die. So thanks for pointing that out, Zach. Great spot.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to be doing a lot of spoilers this episode. So consider this your spoiler warning. Cannot stop giving spoilers for other seasons. Full spoilers for Australia Season 2 and New Zealand Season 2, because Jane and I were on them. Also, light spoilers for probably every English-speaking version of the Traitors, because sometimes I just want to organically reference them. You've been warned. We'll try and not go too deep. But
yeah,
speaking of deep, these 3 episodes, Jane, thoughts, feelings?
Well, it's bringing Traitors USA drama to me, isn't it? I mean, started off on the first episode. Obviously, they got Raj out really quickly, and I thought, oh, this is going well, and then it's just been absolute chaos since then. And it just reminds me, actually, thinking of for my series straight away, is that Kiwis here. Obviously, I'm not a Kiwi, but Kiwis here are so much more relaxed and less drama, and I think that's the only way to get Traitors out, because you see it on the USA, you're seeing it on this one. It just, all the drama, the Traitors just sit back and get lost in all that drama. So it's brilliant to watch, but it's not great for the faithfuls to get Traitors out, is it?
It's true. I think you're right? Like, drama equals noise, and when there's too much noise, you can't hear what matters. I agree, and it's a shame. In some ways, it's a shame for the faithful, because unlike the US, I think the bulk of these players have watched the show. They have done their research. It's just they are so intense. I have not seen another season where every round table gets so aggressive, so personal, so mean.
Yeah.
You know, even when I was watching Traitors Hungry, where I was joking, no wonder so many people felt the immense pressure because the round tables got pretty heated. This is a whole other situation. I mean, I was hoping Traitors India would be high drama. I respect India for their flair for the dramatic, but this is just next level, Jane.
That's why I knew it would be good to watch, you see. That's why I said to you, I knew it was going to bring drama, and it hasn't, like you say, it hasn't disappointed. Yeah, it gets very personal and almost to the point of, there has been points where you think, Christ, it's on that thing of too aggressive on a couple of occasions. So it's great to watch, but I can imagine if you're in it, some of them clearly are struggling with it. It's a lot.
Said, I think they're actually taking it pretty well. If I was Janvi, or I was Sufi, or I was Raftar, I would be in mental health first aid. They would be, drip, Valium, Xanax, straight into my bloodstream.
They might be, though. They might
They are
be. Who
so
knows? But yeah.
comparatively, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are, but compared to how I would be, they are taking it so well. 6 episodes, no quits, and
No.
they are swearing and hurling personal insults at each other. So I think
Yeah.
that's quite admirable.
Yeah, no, I do. Good for them. I mean, like you say, I think, I'm pretty thick-skinned, but I think I'd struggle with some of the things that are coming out there because they're very personal. And this Janvi, for instance, hasn't really done anything to piss everyone off, but everyone hates her and it's horrible to her.
I firmly now have. I also don't think I've felt this passionately about some of the characters before. Like, I have my alliance of people who I love, and I'm all in on
Same.
them.
Yep.
And I cannot stand Orphe. I know
No,
you felt
neither can
strongly
I.
about Ivar, but I rarely come out and say, like, I just hate this player. I strongly dislike them. I have absolutely zero time for Orphe.
Yeah, same. I mean, and my thing with Ivan was just I thought he was a pompous twat, basically, who couldn't hold his urine. But with her, she's just nasty and mean and just not likable at all. There's nothing that's come across as likable. They've all had their moments of being nasty and mean, but she, I don't know her. I've never heard of any of them, to be honest, but she comes across as a nasty piece of work. And I agree with you. Maybe she's different, and if she is, kudos and everything, but she's certainly being edited to look like not
Horrible.
a nice person. So I totally agree with you. Yeah, totally agree.
Let's get into it, shall we? So, lest we all forget, last time we watched this, last week, Apoorva and Orphe, evil Orphe, had a big fight over basically nothing, where Apoorva was a little bit snippy with her, and then Orphe's like, I'm so famous, I shouldn't even be talking to you, get out of my face, and has just like hated on her ever since. So they come into breakfast in episode 4. It's just the two of them. It's so awkward.
Oh, awkward.
Opposite ends of the table, Jane.
Oh, no. It was hilarious. I was laughing because it was Apoorva just sat down. I think it was Orphe, wasn't it? Deliberately went right to the other side and they just sat there in silence. I mean, it was beautiful to watch, but cringing as well. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's a game. It's, again, childish, but amusing to watch.
Their relationship with each other is very petty and childish. Like, don't get me wrong,
Very.
I am Team Apoorva. I think Apoorva is great TV. My motto in life, Jane, is it's okay to be mean in the most as long as you're funny about it. And I think Apoorva is funny about it.
Yeah. Same, exactly, yeah. And that's the difference.
It's giving grade 9 girls, though.
Mm. Yes, it is, totally, yeah. Yeah, but you're right, Apoorva's hilarious, whereas Orphe's just nasty, so, but, yeah, it's not, it was quite awkward to watch, and I think I was quite glad when, I can't remember who the next people were in, I'm sure you'll tell us, but even they commented on it, I think, like, why are you sat in the corner?
Yeah. So Harsh comes in, happy birthday, Harsh, and, like, Orphe's just bitching about Apoorva all breakfast, but like there's names all over the place. My favorite one, because it was giving me flashbacks to But His Mother's Dead, was Janet being like, I think Raftar is the traitor. Orphe's like, but he swore on his fiance. But what if there isn't a fiance?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, love it.
The other common theme this week is that every single breakfast, the players are manifesting Janvi's murder. They're like, but Janvi might not come in.
Every single time. Yeah, exactly. Poor Janvi.
Why they hate her so much. Like, she might be vaguely annoying and like throw out crazy ideas, but also they all do. I don't really get the beef.
No, I don't either. I guess it was a Mahip and Janvi thing from the start, seemed to be a bit of a clash. But even so, certainly on what they've shown us, she hasn't done anything to deserve that vitriol from them.
And she was, now I remember, beefing with Harsh, and Harsh is Mr. Popular in the house.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
The black magic.
Yeah, Ashish has survived to sleep another day, so we're so happy. Everyone's kind of predicting a recruitment, but no. Mikesh is dead. Purav successfully pushed Elnaz into it, and
Uh-huh.
Karan Johar is rocking a very flamboyant suit. This was the yellow one with the devil horns, Jane.
With the devil horns, yes, loved it. Thought he looked amazing. Yeah, I'm liking his outfit so far. He's so camp.
Love him. I love
Yeah.
Karan Johar as a host.
Yeah,
I think he's
same.
perfect. He's also been sort of putting in some little Alanisms. Like he goes, "Toodles, Mukesh." And then
Yes, that's right.
what's his signature line? Oh, so his signature line that he says every morning is, "Rise and shine. It's
Shine.
Tokka time."
That's right, talk time. Yeah, that's right.
Which means
I
betrayal.
was trying to think what it was. But yeah, betrayal time. Yeah, that's right. Every single morning he said that. He's great. He's a great host. He's got it perfectly, I think. Yeah, I really like him. I love his outfits. He's not too much. He's getting more into it as it goes on. I love it. Yeah, he's great.
And it must be really difficult being a gay man in India, which just gives me all the more like appreciation for him and Sufi, who are just so out there and being themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Sufi. Yeah, we'll come on to him.
Yeah. Okay. I know. Can I just do a little rant about Sufi? Because Sufi is going to be the main character really this week. And we end the week with Sufi really concerned he's going to be the villain. And I was listening to some other podcasts that were a little bit critical of Sufi. I feel like Sufi's the kind of gay man that other gay men like to hate on. And I just have so much time and so much appreciation for Sufi. He is the hero of this season to me. He's so funny. He brings so much to confessionals, to every interaction. He's entertainment personified. He also has some of the least followers of the people on this season, and that is a crime. Because he's more entertaining than like 90% of them put together.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. He's brilliant. He's got, like you say, he's got the humour. He's got the bag. Everywhere he goes, he has his little handbag, which I absolutely love, of course. I noticed on every episode, he's just carrying it everywhere he goes. Yeah, and, he's not stupid, but I think he sticks up for himself. And the whole, his whole at the round table, what, me? I love him. I love him. Look, he's playing the game, and yeah, he might not be popular in some, but I think he's great TV, and I want him to stay as long as possible. Love him.
Put Sufi on everything. I want to do a super edit of all of his handbags because they're just amazing. Anyway, circling back. Sorry, guys, I had to do a sidebar on that because I'm in my feels about Sufi at the moment. So we are every single breakfast, every single episode, we're gonna hear Elnaz is a traitor. Elnaz is a traitor. Guys, you're being blue ballsed. Everyone is thinking Elnaz is a traitor. Everyone is getting distracted because pretty much every single name in the house is being mentioned.
Yeah, everybody, literally.
Yeah. So this is also the beginning of the end for Raftar. This is a 3-episode arc that ends with his banishment, but it's going to be dragged out. It's a torturous death. Raftar,
yes, very much.
Yeah, and Sudhanshu have this conversation where Raftar says that it's poetic justice that Mukesh is dead because Mukesh had said he curses the traitors, he curses anyone who says he's a traitor, and then he died. And evil Orphe, curse her, is like, well, he's a rapper. Does that make him the poet? Is Raftar the traitor?
Yeah, well done, Orphe, you've got it. God's sake.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, but, Jasmine, she's sus on Raftar and Maheep. They were making signals to each other, but also don't forget about Elnaz. It becomes, again, a kind of recurring theme that people who get banished on the way out are saying that they suspect Elnaz, and again, it goes absolutely nowhere.
Sufi actually brought up Purav's name at breakfast, again, which I thought was pretty smart. I think it was the first time I'd heard his name.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't really go anywhere at that point, but at least he's 21. He's smart.
He's
smart.
He's the baby.
Yeah.
I mean, at 21, honestly, your brain's not even finished developing yet, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Raftar does some really weird stuff here post-breakfast. Like, he's going around making pacts with people. He does it with Apurva. He later does it with Purav. He's basically like, let's make a pact. I will tell you my real names, but I won't tell other people my real names. But, you're not allowed to tell anyone that you heard this name from me. It's just so unnecessary and suspicious. Like I've said this before, this is a most often deployed by traitors because they don't want it to get back to their fellow traitors that they're leaking their name. It's never a good strategy, Jane.
No, it's not. And I think if you think about how Raj went in the first episode or the first round table, that was sort of his undoing, wasn't it? He was just throwing all these names around. And if you come out hard like that, people are going to definitely suspect you. I mean, there's a fine line between, I guess, and we'll see. We'll talk about Purav later, who's not saying anything. But yeah, it was way too much. And suspicions, rightly so, even though he's an innocent, as they say. Yeah, it was too much. And he just went from bad to worse as the day went on. It just went, it was just chaos and just, cringe, awful, aggressive. He just lost the plot, didn't he?
He goes completely cuckoo canoe. Like, guys, if you did not watch this episode, let me tell you, you have never seen someone behave like this on the Traitors, and it was a lot.
It was a lot. And I think, yeah, you're right. That's a lot.
A lot. But everyone is suspicious of Raftar for some reason this morning. Sufi goes up to him and says, "You never take the initiative. I'm suspicious of you." And Raftar's like, "Well, I need to look at my two boys because one of them's probably protecting me, Harsh and Purav. Purav isn't manipulative enough, so it's probably Harsh." And then this is going to come back to bite him because Harsh never forgives Raftar for putting his name out there. These three used to be like this, and Raftar and Harsh never get on the same page again.
No, exactly. And he actually says about Purav, I think he says a couple of times, "Oh, he's just a boy. He's, he's too young." And I think, no, that's exactly why he was making it. He was picked to be a traitor. But yeah, he just, he really does. He gets so aggressive, and it was kind of quite difficult to watch at times. I mean, in one way, I felt sorry for him because you could just see him spiraling out of control as the day went on. And yeah, it was a bit of a hard watch for him, but he did himself no favours whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. But Apurva, she says, well, Purav is an impressionist. That means he's observant. He's made 0 observations so far. He's giving no names, no evidence. Sufi's like, "I'm sure he's a traitor." Again, none of this comes up later, guys.
No.
It's a non-entity.
It doesn't, but they're right. And again, that's a Purva who's actually, again, with Sufi, actually speaking sense. But it gets lost in all the chaos because of, the day it just spirals completely with Raftar. It just goes mad.
Completely.
Maybe in a general series, if it was a bit calmer, that might have come to fruition. But yeah, she was right.
The beautiful thing about Sufi and Apurva is that they say so much that that even though only about 10% of what they say makes sense and is correct, they at least get it out there.
Yeah. Oh God, they can't stop. Wasn't it in the first 3 episodes where it was Apurva, wasn't it? Wrote on her hand, "Stop talking." Yeah. She just can't stop herself. But it's brilliant.
She's washed her hand many times since then. Can no longer read it. This is where the traitors get a letter. So Purav and Elnaz are pulled into confessional and they're told, "You've got a secret mission. There's 3 axes hidden around the palace. Find them. They've got a special traitor symbol on them. Put them in the chest in the lounge. And if you're successful, the prize money in the next mission doubles." Elnaz, she's keen to do it, she tells us. Purav, afraid of getting caught. No one wants to talk in front of Elnaz because everyone's a little bit sus on her. Purav is avoiding her. They never get to talk about it. Purav refuses to do it. She ends up going off and doing it all by herself, Jane. Would you... Okay, you were a traitor. If you were given this mission, would you go for it?
100%. I would absolutely have done it, and 2 reasons. One, because it's something to do, and it's a competition, so it's a sneaky thing, so I'd love to do it. But also, it was for the money. The prize was going to be, their money was going to be doubled. So, as a team player, I absolutely would have done it. And I think Purav went down in my estimations there, and actually Elnaz went up in my estimations because she did it really well. She did do it really well with the breakfast tray and everything. And I thought Purav, it was poor that he wouldn't even, he didn't even attempt it. He just sat there. So yeah, not great by him, but well done for Elnaz. Yeah, I thought she made a really good job of it, didn't you?
Elnaz absolutely smashed it. I thought she did a
Mm.
really good job. She was so sneaky, like pretending she was carrying around a tray of food for herself, but there was an axe hidden under it, just in case she got caught. I fully sympathize with Purav not wanting to do it. Like, on one hand, you're like, oh, this will be a great TV moment. The producers want us to do it. On the other hand, nightmare fuel if you get caught. Even if you don't get caught, but people notice you're away for a while, and then later when you're told someone was off doing something sneaky, you know, someone could point the finger at you. So
Yeah.
I get it. But I thought it was pretty weak sauce that he didn't even tell Elnaz that he wasn't going to do it. Like, there was no communication. He
Mm.
ran away from her every time she came over. At least have that conversation and say no.
Yeah, and also I think, if you're a traitor, you've got to be, there are going to be possible secret missions. And let's be honest, they're not in a tiny basement flat. They've got a huge area that they could have gone in. They're all wandering around all over the place. I think he could have at least attempted it, or, like you say, at very least had the conversation. Yeah, I definitely would have done it. I may have got caught, but I definitely would have done it.
Love that from you. That's why you're a great traitor. You know what? I gotta say, with Purav, he's giving limp dick.
Isn't he? Yeah, can I just say, so look, in episodes 1 to 3, I said he was one of my favourites, didn't I? Liked him, thought he was playing it really well. And I've written down on here, what was it on my page? And circled it, I've completely gone off Purav. Because exactly that reason. He's doing nothing, and Elnaz has gone absolutely high up in my estimations after these 3 episodes. So he is giving limp dick. You're right. He's doing nothing.
Yeah, he has this sort of unearned confidence about him that he has no business carrying. He's simultaneously cocky, but
Yes.
also does nothing, weenie, not displaying strength of character within the game. I'm being so mean this episode. Sorry, guys, but like,
No, sorry, I think you're totally right. And I think, the whole thing with Purav, it's like when in the episodes he's going up to the camera when he's making tea or coffee and saying things, it's like so cocky. And that's how he didn't come across in the first 3 episodes, which is why I liked him. As soon as he's got cocky, no, because like you say, he hasn't earned the right to be cocky or arrogant. And he's just annoying now. Yeah.
He's the vibe where the sort of person who would talk a big game about being gangster, but would be too scared to shoplift from an actual store. He just steals money from his friends. That's the energy I mean. Like, he's this unearned confidence, but also gutless.
Gutless, yeah. Gutless is actually a really good way to describe him for the mission and for how he's playing the game. Absolutely, yeah. Gutless.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nothing about him. So anyway, I'm not about him at the moment.
No.
Okay, this bit was cool. I don't like Orphe, but evil Orphe had a dream last night and she saw 3 traitors. Okay, she's only going to tell people about one of them because if this one's wrong, there's no point telling anybody about the other 2 in her dream. So the one she decides to tell people is Maheep.
Yeah.
Maheep, not a traitor, but the other 2 she's keeping to herself, Jane. Purav and Elnaz.
I know. Oh, genius. Yeah. Brilliant. That was great. I mean, her dream. Yeah. Maybe she's the astrologer. Maybe she can see into the future or something because, yeah, she had those 2 right, but chose the wrong name. Yeah. I don't think anyone believed her
we need
anyway.
a psychic. This is our psychic.
We do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, Elnaz ends up finding all the axes and completing the side mission all by herself. She's understandably pissed at Purav. Like, she should just eat Purav alive. I don't know. She is a strong woman. You can tell, like, Elnaz does not take fools lightly. You know, Sahil's over here on Instagram crying himself a river because his best friend got rid of him first. Elnaz gives 0 Fs. She has not responded on Instagram. Elnaz should seriously just eat Purav like he's chicken drumsticks. I'm kind of annoyed she hasn't.
Well, I think certainly on this episode, they were they were still sticking together, weren't they? You could see there were little signs, but I think she was kind of giving him. But I think by him not doing that mission, I think that made up her mind. But she still held herself back.
She's been leaking his name every episode. She now goes ahead and leaks his name to Orphe.
She is now. Yeah.
She's going to do it every episode from here on in. But I don't want to leak. Like, I want her to get up there in Traitors Tower, grab him by the throat, and go, Purav, I am going to destroy you.
Because he still thinks he's the boss up in the tower, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Still thinks it. He's the one that's saying, and I'm like, he's not the boss, is he? But he thinks he is, again. Yeah, she's been very restrained.
Ugh. Anyway, we head off to the mission. It's at night. It's in a sort of no man's land, abandoned graveyard vibes. The gold bars are buried around, and you've got to dig them out without getting caught in a spotlight. I think we saw this on UK, Jane.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we did, yeah.
There's some shields hidden around, and one of them is in an obvious location behind a big shield. You've just got to knock a wall down. Karan Johar points that out, but the rest of them are hidden. So, really, long story short here, people aren't very good at it. There's zero communication, zero teamwork, zero trust. Sufi says, fuck it, I want the shield, goes straight for it and gets it.
Yeah, brilliant.
But it was quite fun. There's nothing to recap really for the podcast, but it was quite fun to watch, I thought, Jane.
It was quite fun to watch because, like you say, they were hopeless at it, no teamwork. And I love the fact that Sufi just went straight for it. And he was like, I'm going to show them that I can do this and bang this wall down. And I did it straight away. And I was like, yeah, you go, Sufi. And I think after the mission, when he was discussing, Rafta was going after him again, it's like, see you at the table, girl. And I'm like, oh my God, I love you even more now.
There's so many good Sufi quotes, and I only documented some of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, but that's probably about it. Yeah, they didn't do particularly well. I think who was the last one? Was it
Orphe? Evil
Orphe, yeah. So she thought she was amazing. She'd held the team together by being the last one, but actually she didn't actually do anything.
She didn't even get caught.
Yeah.
She got caught. No,
she didn't. She just wandered off. Yeah, no. Yeah, so it was okay.
Yeah. Thank God Elnaz did complete the mission and double the money, or they'd have had nothing.
Yes, I know, exactly, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, it was fine. It was quite a good mission, but we have seen it before, yeah. But the main thing for me was that, yeah, Sufi I know it caused lots of tension afterwards, but that I love the fact that he got the shield.
We love him. So this is also more showing that Apurva, even though only 10% of it is right, that 10% is really good. She's the only person who thinks of spreading a rumor she got a shield. So she actually asks her friend Janet to help her spread this rumor, which was really, really awesome. Sufi had brought his handbag to the mission as well. It was obsessed.
I know we had. I saw that. Yeah.
That is going straight to the super edit. And so this is where Karan Johar reveals that the traitors completed a secret mission and the money from today has doubled. So we get some very rare car chat on the back because Traitors India does not love car chat.
No.
In car one, we have Apurva, Sufi, and Purav. Apurva tells them on the D-Lo she got the shield. Amazing, because Purav buys that hook, line, and sinker. She ain't getting murdered tonight.
Yeah.
And Sufi reveals Raftar has been a real freak in the sheets. Apparently, Raftar has been telling Sufi, I know how to dominate you.
Yeah. All right. I didn't see it that way, but yeah. Yeah. When was that? We didn't hear that, did we?
No, it was either off camera or just not shown in the edit. But Sufi brings up it a lot of times that Raftar was going to dominate him by mocking him.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, he brought it up a few times. So, yeah, unfortunately we didn't see it, but yeah, he brings that up and he continues. He's really upset by that, you can tell. And he thinks there's no fucking way you're going to dominate me. So, yeah, he was. And I think that was the time as well, wasn't it? Was it Purva asked Purav for a name and he still didn't give one? Was that
probably
in the car or was that different? Yeah.
Sounds like the sort of thing Purav would do.
Yep.
Like, Loki wouldn't mind seeing Raftar dominate Sufi, but just not in the way he meant. I could be into that.
I'm sure you could. That does not surprise me one little bit.
In cut two, things are going nuts. So this is where Raftar is really spiraling. So he's with Nikita and I think Mahib, and he's like, look, guys, I've been on a lot of TV shows. I know you have too, but I've been on a lot of TV shows. For a secret mission, you need a close-up camera to catch a big moment like that.
Yeah.
Karan Johar totally said that the secret mission was during the mission. Everyone heard that, right? That definitely happened. Where would there have been a close-up camera? Where Sufi got the shield. Sufi is a traitor.
He'd just gone Delulu.
Completely
at that
Delulu.
point. Yeah.
Like,
totally.
post-mission, it's Sufi gossiping about the Dominate moment, Apurva leaking her shield lie, and Raftar trying to tell everybody his crackpot theory. And Sufi, I love Sufi, always has a glass of wine in his confessionals. It's giving Mike White in The Survivor. Things really escalate here. Like, Raftar is screaming and swearing. Sufi is sassing. Like, they're just going completely bananas at each other. He's like, well, everyone make sure you check out my ass on the way out.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Guess what's happening during all of this? Ashish is napping on the
what's
daybed.
happening.
Ashish is napping on the daybed.
Yes, I wrote it down. He's napping on the daybed, yeah. His little lounge chair, yeah. Bless him, yeah, he was. Pan to him. Yeah, he doesn't want to get involved. Why should he?
No, we love our nappy king. There's still a bit of sus on Mahip. Now Orphe and Raftar start screaming at each other. Raftar starts to realize he's looking a bit like an idiot, and Apurva's like, yeah, babe, I know you're not a traitor, but you're playing really badly. Can you please be less? And this is coming from me.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Purav is still looking super sus by refusing to say who he thinks a traitor is. And another recurring theme here is that every episode there's apparently an 8 or 9 person pact to vote a certain way at the round table. Never seems to happen though, Jane.
Never. Oh, in fact, when they said that, I was like, what? Okay. Because it doesn't happen. There's no point in having one because they get to the round table, all hell breaks loose. I mean, when we got to this round table, I would have put money on the fact that Rafta was going to go.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. So, yeah.
Yeah. These roundtables, who knows what's happening. So we get to the Circle of Shark. Now, thank you to loyal listener Danielle. Shark means suspicion, so it's the Circle of Suspicion in English.
Right, okay. Thank you, Danielle.
We love. So going in, people are suspecting Mahip and Raftar, but Raftar is like really pushing Sufi, so he's a name out there too. It opens with Queen Janvi, the most despised. She's like, girl, you keep changing what names you're saying. What is with this like weird strategy of like not sharing your names or sharing fake names? It's really unhelpful. He continues changing his stories. He fights with Harsh. He fights with Mahip. God, now he's throwing out Orphe and Harsh's names as well. Now he's naming Anshula. He's naming literally everybody there except for the actual traitors.
Yep. I wrote that down. He names almost everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Raftar tells us he's just feeling really unsettled because it's his fault that Karan K went out. And I do think Karan K seems to have been friends with a lot of people in real life. And that seems to have shaken people in the house quite a bit because they're now very concerned this week, Jane, about banishing another faithful who they're friends with and doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
Elnaz is like, guys. Let's go back to Janvi. Remember how we all hated Janvi at the start? Why don't we still hate her? And Apurva's like, yeah, Janvi, I don't think you're a traitor, but like on a personal level, totally fed up with you.
Brilliant. Say what you mean.
Nikita and Apurva are like, no, we're not voting Raftar. He's clearly innocent. Jasmine's like, well, what about Mahip? You know, we've all been pretty keen on voting Mahip for a few days now. She's like, I'm not even going to defend myself anymore. I'm so sick of you bringing up my name. Mistake, Mahip, because we're going to go for a vote. This episode ends with Mahip voting Ashish. Get his name out of your mouth, bitch. Elnaz and Nikita throwing votes onto Janvi. And then it's a tie between Raftar and Mahip with only Janet and Orphe left to vote.
Yeah.
And we sign off with a confessional from Orphe saying that Harsh, her boyfriend, her showmance, has told her to vote Raftar because he's worried Raftar's going to sink his game. And we end on a cliffhanger. I thought Raftar was going to go, Jane.
So did I. So did I, because of what she said about Harsh. I thought I didn't realise there was one more after her actually, but yeah, I thought she was going to go for afterwards. So I was surprised that she went for Mahip. But yeah, it was the one thing I'd say at that. I thought Elnaz did really well when she spoke. She actually, because she came up with Janvi, which is actually a valid point. And again, Purav came up with nothing. But yeah, I thought he was going to go, but Mahip didn't put up any defence. I think she was just fed up. She's like, well, I'm not a traitor, and I'm sick of you telling me, thinking that I am. So go for it if you want to. Excuse me.
Yeah, I have a lot of time for Elnaz. Obviously, feel sorry for Sahil. I would be so salty if one of my closest friends murdered me first. So I get why he's salty about it. But Elnaz, even though she's not the most entertaining traitor ever, she's been a pretty good one.
Yeah. And I think, and she said it a few times, it is just a game. It is. And that's really, and she's playing it that way. And I think it is, as you and I know, it is hard. Emotions do come into it. And you make these little friendships, but they are friendships while you're in the game. You haven't been friends with them for 10 years. It's just because it's so, it's so concentrated in there.
Jane, this is the issue. Elnaz and Sahil have been friends for like 10 years.
Oh,
their mums are good friends.
Oh, no.
I'm talking in real life besties.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right, then. Okay, I'll shut up. Right. Oh, yeah, that's a bit. Yeah. Okay. Elnaz, how could you?
I believe you didn't watch Sahil's 9-part post crying about his feelings.
No, I didn't. I obviously haven't got as much time on my hands as you. Oh, yes, you did, actually. Yes, you did. I did watch some of it, but I didn't watch all of it. But yeah, I mean, that's a bit harsh. But then it is still just a game. But she could have murdered someone else. Yeah.
It's so true.
We talked about that last week. It was her ally. Why did they end up murdering him? I don't really know why.
I don't know. I think it was a bad move for her, to be honest, but whatever. If I have to choose between her and Purav, I'm choosing her.
Yeah, me too. Same. Yeah.
So we start episode 5 now, and we're just finishing off this roundtable. Orphe and Janet both vote for Mahip, and Mahip's like, well, I hope a traitor wins. I'm innocent. And this week, you could completely forget that the Kapoor alliance ever existed. Mahip was clearly the glue girl here because Sufi and Anshula aren't working together anymore. Jasmine's not working with them anymore. They all scatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And we have a new little 3, don't we, with Janvi comes with Sufi and
so we can skip ahead. Coming out at the end of this week, these are the kind of the cliques here. So Janvi, Sufi, and Apoorva are a clique.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Janet is also friends with Apoorva, so she's sometimes part of that clique. Then Orphe, Jasmine, and Janet are a clique.
Yes.
Harsh and Purav are a duo. And they are friends with both Apoorva and Orphe. Keita has no friends. Anshula and Elnaz are a duo, and other than that, don't really seem to have any friends. And I think that covers everybody. Oh, Sudhanshu. I don't really know I still don't know anything about Sudhanshu 6 episodes
Neither do I. No. Neither do I. He's not had much airtime, and he doesn't really. Yeah, I think it's more to do with the airtime. He's not been that interesting, is he? I'm sure he's lovely in real life. Sorry, but he's not been very interesting on this.
No idea what's going on here. Anyway, so that alliances have collapsed, new alliances are going to form. Everyone's feeling super guilty. Jasmine's like, vote me out, I'm terrible. Raftar's, I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Sufi's like, you're all so two-faced and mean. It's clearly Raftar. And Raftar's apologizing like, I'm sorry, I was a dick.
Yeah.
Ashish goes from the circle of shark straight to the daybed and stays there napping until a call for better eyes, and then he gets up to go to his other bed.
Yeah, he does. I found here again. Everyone's arguing. Ashish having a kip. Yeah. Brilliant. I just love it. Yeah.
The icon he is. He's so good.
I know.
He's so good.
He doesn't want to get involved in all the drama. I don't blame him.
No. Ashish is so invited to my wedding. I'm never having a wedding, but if I had one, Ashish better be there.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't be awake through it, you know that
No.
much. You
Oh,
better
no. I would set up a bed in the corner.
set up a
Yeah.
bed at the front.
A little bed for Ashish in the corner, and then at 2 a.m., just as I'm going to bed, he'll wake up and continue the party for me.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, he would as well. Oh,
Oh,
bless him. Yeah.
King. So in Traitors Tower, all right, the option to recruit is still on the table. They believe Sufi and Apurva have shields, because Apurva, it's worked. And
Yeah.
they're thinking, for whatever reason here, that they want to recruit. So Elnaz is like, look, I need to feed the faithful a woman, because they've already found a man. They're going to start saying, well, there's got to be a woman too. We're going to run out of options, and they're going to look at me. I want to recruit Janvi and feed her. And Purav is like, absolutely not. Janvi is useless. I want to recruit my best friend Harsh. No.
Oh, God.
It's like, absolutely not. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck off, boy.
So they
Man-child.
compromise. Yeah, they compromise on recruiting Nikita. What did you think about this choice, Jane?
I would, when they were up there, I would have gone with Janvi, the same as Elnaz, but I thought Nikita as a sort of middle ground for them potentially could be a good one, because you're right, she hasn't got any friends. She hasn't really got loads of suspicion, but she certainly got some suspicion because she came in late in the game. So yeah, potentially good choice.
Yeah, it's not a terrible choice. I mean, I am now of the opinion, until this happens for the first time, and thus the meta updates, that you have to recruit someone you're close friends with, because Janvi knows they don't like her. Janvi knows they've recruited to throw her under the bus. Now Janvi knows who the traitors are. And Nikita doesn't really have a relationship with them either. But also, Purav and Elnaz don't have the same friends. So I don't think they can recruit here. I think they should have murdered.
I do as well. And I don't know why they came in and said they were going to recruit all of a sudden. I didn't really, it certainly wasn't edited to show any discussion. It was kind of, we know what we're going to do. We're going to recruit. I
mean, Purav later tells us that he was hoping to turn on Elnaz with the person that he recruited. So I think Elnaz wanted to recruit a woman to get the heat off her. Purav just wants to get rid of Elnaz and wants a friend to do it with. But I think, Purav, you need to turn on Elnaz without a friend and recruit a friend afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I think it was probably the only decision that potentially suited both of them, that they both agree on without going into the nth degree about stuff. So, yeah, I think that was a good decision, actually, in the end. Well, potentially it was. We'll see what happens, but...
Yeah. So Harsh and Purav, the boys, the bros, they're in first. Purav, he's trying to kind of light float Elnaz's name, because these two, they ain't together. But Harsh, he suspects, how dare he suspects Ashish. And he's going to be pushing this theory hard today. Spoiler alert, wind catches that spark, it turns into a bushfire. How dare you, Harsh?
I know. And why? Because other people said, and I do agree, looking at it objectively, if he was a traitor, he wouldn't be lying around doing all that. I just don't think he would be doing sleeping and stuff. He's an intelligent man. I don't think the reasoning was there for that. But, as we've already said, there's so much drama and chaos going on. It's not really surprising. But I just think he was, if you're a traitor, you're not going to do that. You're not.
No. And I think, as Sufi points out after Ashish's banishment, no, he just had no idea what he was doing or what game he was playing. And even if you don't think that, even if you do believe Ashish would nap through the entire game of the Traitors, do you truly believe that the producers would risk making one of the main characters of the show a wild card like Ashish? No, they would pick somebody who they were confident was going to deliver.
Yeah, exactly. And he was come on, he was never going to be a traitor, was he? I mean, I think that would be a given. If I'd been on that show, I wouldn't have even considered him for that reason. You're right. They want traitors that they think are going to be good, going to be entertaining to watch. And he is entertaining to watch, but not in the right way. He's just entertaining because he sleeps all the time. Not a good traitor vibe. So yeah, I'm not really sure where Harsh was coming from with that.
No, crazy behavior. But once again, everyone is excited. They think Janvi's dead. We finally got rid of her. Nope, she's still kicking. Gag,
Oh, no.
bitches, Sophie shouts.
When she came in, it was all like bloody tumbleweed, wasn't it? Everyone was, I felt, oh, poor Janvi. Everyone was like, oh, Janvi.
my
And then
God.
somebody, I think, gave her a hug. But yeah, poor Janvi.
Poor Janvi, everyone hates her. Put her out of her misery. But, huge shock, Nikita rejected the recruitment invite. What did we think about this? I mean, you were on the receiving end of a rejected traitor invite. Is it ever a good idea to reject an invitation?
Yeah, there are circumstances where I think maybe it could be. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about my series because it'll haunt me forever. No, but with her, I would think I would have accepted it because everybody already suspects her a tiny bit, but not a lot. She hasn't got any friends, so why not just go for it and try? At least she won't be murdered, and at least she can find out who the other two traitors are and maybe play it to her advantage. So, and we were kind of led to believe that she was going to accept it, weren't we, when the episode ended? But I thought she should have accepted it. What do you think?
It's a huge amount of power to turn down. And I tend to agree. Like, maybe if you are so obviously the next person to be banished and you just don't want to give the faithful who've been bullying you for the last 2 weeks the satisfaction of getting rid of a traitor, turn it down. But there was no reason for her to turn it down. She doesn't know this, but, like, not only is she now safe from murder for the rest of the season, Purav actually wants to work with her over Elnaz.
I know.
And even worse, and Nikita has no intention of revealing she received an invitation at all, which I think is a self-interested move that's probably going to protect her from being looked at. And these are the kind of players who will just be like, oh, someone mentioned her name for some obscure reason, let's banish her. And anyway, but like, this is screwing over the innocence so bad, because now people are bickering over whether or not there was a recruitment or shielded murder. It's messing up the numbers completely for the faithful.
Yeah. Oh, it's a real, it made, and obviously she made the decision not to disclose that. And I still don't know where I stand on that. If I was to, because we've seen it in other series where you disclose it and then people immediately suspect you. And then we've seen it where if you come out, then you can really prove you're a faithful but innocent. But because you didn't say anything, like you say, it made things 100 times worse for everybody. But I don't know. What would you do if you turn it down? Would you tell everyone? Okay, well,
I mean, if I was offered, I would take it. So I don't think I would end up in this situation anyway. But I think it's the right selfish move not to tell anybody. But I would probably tell somebody, what was it? Was it another season where this happened? Because if I was going to I'd be scared of being murdered that night. So I think I would tell, I would tell one person so that if I was murdered, it could leak.
Yeah, there was another series. Can't remember which one. Yeah, no, I think you're right, but it's kind of puts her on the spot, doesn't it? But fair play. But I would have definitely accepted it. I think she should have accepted it, and probably Purav would have worked with her. Who knows? We'll never know, will we? But yeah, she's decided to keep it secret.
See, once you tell one other person, you've got to tell everyone. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd be like her and wouldn't tell anyone at all. I don't know.
Well, because it's all about trust, isn't it? But then who can you trust? Because it's very easy to say, oh, I trust such and such because we're close. But, things happen the next day, it comes out. And then it looks even worse for you. So, she's better I think she's better to stay quiet. I think she does the right thing in that,
Yeah. All right, well, post-breakfast, Ashisha's gone back to his day bed and is being waited upon by his friends. So Nikita, bless her, she's like, well, there is a third option. Someone could have turned down the recruitment and then been incredibly wise and not shared this information with anyone. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, by the way, did you know Apurva totally bluffing about having a shield last night? Isn't that sus? Nikita's trying to push Anshula's name today. She's like, Anshula never laughs at my jokes. Seems to know too much about the tower. Apurva's like, I fucking hate Nikita.
I know, literally. And she walks up to her, literally, no one listens to her at all. Yeah, I fucking hate her. And I don't know what she meant. She knows too much about the tower. I don't know where that came from, but it was bad gameplay, wasn't it? Just out of the blue to say that. It was a bit weird, but I think she was probably feeling the pressure from turning down the recruitment.
Yeah. And she's clearly like very confident in her incorrect opinion because she says all sorts of things later like, I'll quit being a poker player if I'm wrong about this, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, they all say that. I'll shave my head. I'll do this. I'll quit my job. I'll quit rapping. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of them's going to have to do something.
Yes. So Raftar, he goes to Jasmine. He's like, oh, by the way, Brava's pushing your name. And she's like, he's a traitor. And Raftar's like, no, he's a child. Goofy is putting Purav on the spot. He's like, for God's sake, Purav, just give a name. Give a name. He's like, I don't know, like maybe Ashish. Oh my God. So he says he's too confident he won't die. He's playing under the radar. Why is no one looking at Purav? Well, why don't you ever vote for Purav? Anyway, Orphe's just hating on a Purva. Teasing Orphe. People are teasing Orphe about having a crush on Harsh. Whatever. Okay. We get to the mission. No car chat. Teams are divided into two. And they get 30 minutes. They're in two separate rooms. 30 minutes.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't press the red button. That's all you've got to do. No one presses the button, you get the money. If one of the rooms press the button, then that room gets the option or the opportunity to go for a shield, and also you get the money. But if both teams press the button, no one is getting anything. So it's very Prisoner's Dilemma, but kind of meets the Devil's Plan as well, because they've connected the rooms with a phone line. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was different. We haven't seen that before, have we? One like that? I can't think of one like that. But of course, all hell broke loose. Lots of screaming and shouting especially in Sufi's room. Yeah, it was always going to end badly, wasn't it?
Of course. Sufi and Jasmine are screaming at each other. Elnaz is trying to hustle to keep the money, which people find suspicious. It's just... Sufi also stages a fake fight on the phone at one person. Anyway, unsurprisingly, they both press the button. There's no shields, no money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More bickering afterwards. Orphe and Sufi are bickering about mission strategy. And this was a weird episode. I think this was the weakest episode so far. Like, it seemed like a quiet day where everyone was confused and name shy. You know, Purav is like teasing Elnaz in front of others, being like, oh my God, you never have any names, Elnaz. And Elnaz is like, look in the mirror, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ashish suggests Purav could be a traitor. Purav laughs at this. Raftar's like, no. Raftar has a lot to answer for in terms of the number of times he's shut down Purav's name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the time.
Ugh. Sufi and Apurva are sitting in a corner being bitchy together and like, oh my God, I hate her. Oh my God, I hate her too. Why is Nikita still here? Nikita goes to try and wake up Ashish to talk strategy. She's just like, excuse me. She's good. And Sufi and Apurva still in the corner are like, oh my God, Ashish, can you believe he's still napping? But also, can you believe he's still napping? Is he a traitor?
Random.
Anyway, we go to the Circle of Shark. Sufi is screaming at Raftar again. He's like, I see through your PR tour. Yesterday you were really mean and today you're being really nice.
Yeah.
Raftar's like, I'm just happy that some people still want to talk to me after yesterday. But now Apurva kind of suspects him. She's like, her and Harsh question his facial reaction to Mahip's reveal yesterday. And Raftar and Sufi are just hurling accusations at each other. Nikita comes for Anshula. Siddhanshu pitches Ashish. She's like, yeah, this is Orphe. Evil Orphe. Extremely evil in this moment. I just think, Ashish, it was really weird that you went to sleep after finding out Mahip was innocent while everyone else was shocked. Like, it would have been weird if he was awake, Jane.
Yes, exactly. He did exactly what he always does. So he hasn't changed his behaviour. That's what you need to look for, change your behaviour. And his hasn't changed, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care who goes.
People are always talking about, oh my God, your behaviour's changed. Ashish has been consistent.
Consistently asleep.
Ashish's signature line is, I will do anything to catch a traitor. And I'm like, yeah, okay, babes, as long as it doesn't involve you getting off the daybed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's not done a lot, to be fair, to catch a traitor, but yeah.
My God, bless. Jasmine's like, okay, but traitor on traitor violence is so normal. And like, what if Apoorva was the traitor turning on Raj at the start?
Oh.
Okay, clutching at straws.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how, okay, there's so many great lines of Apoorva talking about how dumb Jasmine is. And I'm like, oh my God, remember Canada too, how Trina was like,
Oh.
stupid, dumb Jasmine.
Yeah, that's right. Oh God, yeah. Trina has. Yeah, actually, yeah. It brings back memories of that. Yeah.
It really does. So dumb Jasmine, no idea what's going on.
No.
The votes come in. Nikita votes for Anshula. Raftar votes for Sufi. Sufi votes for Raftar. Jasmine
Right.
votes for Apoorva. And our king, King Ashish. Elnar's on his way out. Everybody else, how dare they?
Very dare
they? Rest in peace, King. Farewell, Ashish. Ashish goes out, spoiler alert, in exactly the same episode I do, and slept through all 5 episodes. I don't know how to feel about that, honestly, Jane. Like, would I have done better or just as well if I had gone to sleep and done absolutely nothing?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe you should have written that in your hand. Less talking. But you were right. You're talking, so you know you do you. He did him, so yeah. I mean, it was sad. I didn't want him to go. He was entertaining in the snooziest sort of way. Yeah, it was just stupid. It was the herd mentality again, I think, wasn't it? So much chaos that they're just not seeing what's in front of them, and they're just picking on somebody who didn't really give it offence, did he?
No, and have you noticed just how many men they have banished here as well? Because so in week 1, they only banished 2 people here, and they banished Raj, who was correct, and then they banished Karen. Then this week they banish Maheep, who's the only woman. So 5 banishments and only 1 woman goes out. And it's often like these total nothing burger men who are doing nothing.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I mean, the women have been the stars so far, haven't they? And they've been the ones coming out with all the stuff, which is probably why Elnaz is even more keen to get a female traitor in there.
This rate, Sudanshu's getting banished next.
Yeah. Yes. Well, who cares, really? He didn't do anything.
Yeah. I know. Sudanshu's either getting banished next, or he's that classic nothing burger faithful who wins at the end and everyone's like, who?
Oh, yes. That's true, actually, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I love after the circle of shark and everyone's kind of lamenting yet another bad decision. It's the way the players all looked over to Ashish's daybed and they're like, oh yeah, that's where he used to sleep. It's so weird now it's empty.
I know. That was genius, wasn't it? Oh, where is he? Yeah, he should be there asleep, gently snoring.
His nap spot.
Oh, dear.
So there's names going around again, like, oh, Ashish put down Elnaz's name. Oh, what about Nikita? Or oh, what about Jan? Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Never goes anywhere. We head up to Traitors Tower. And Karan Johar tells them there is no murder tonight. You are putting 4 players on trial, and one of them will be murdered tomorrow night. You can include yourselves, but they won't be including themselves, and they want to make sure Harsh is on there. It sounded like, could you tell whether it was Purav? Like Elnaz has said, we'll put Harsh on there, but it sounded like it was for Purav's benefit.
Well, yeah, it did, but is that because he thought Harsh won't suspect him as being a traitor if he's on there? But then
I don't know.
That wasn't her thinking, was it?
No. Anyway.
No.
Confusing just because Harsh and Purav are so close. So I wasn't really sure why either of them would want him gone. But we go into episode 6. It's breakfast. And I'm like, why is Sudanshu still here? Who is Sudanshu? What is he doing? And they are
What's that man doing?
Still trying to manifest a Janvi death.
Still, yeah.
Today, Sudanshu is suspecting Janet because she's been acting since childhood. But Raftar is going to be looking at Elnaz, and Apoorva is going to be looking at Raftar. It is a mess. It's breakfast.
Yeah.
It's Indian traders. They argue.
Yep.
Everyone comes in except for Sufi, which was shocking. It was horrible. But psych, he comes in as well. Rise and shine. It's choker time. And there are 4 people on trial. It's Janvi, Orphe and Shula and Harsh. We hear Harsh is a threat. Orphe, frankly, no one's thinking about her. She could use some heat. And there's already heat on Janvi and Anshula. So if anyone thinks a traitor put themselves up, they'll be looking at Janvi and Anshula.
Yeah.
What do you think about these four?
I thought, the Anjula and Janvi was, I would definitely put Janvi in. Definitely. I'm not sure about Harsh. I probably would have put Nikita in there as well, if I'm honest. They're a decent four, but I think Nikita should have been in there. I definitely think they were right not to put themselves in there, because gone are the days where you think, well, we haven't seen, but gone are the days really where you think, oh, a traitor's definitely going to be in there, because the meta's changed on that, hasn't it, big time.
Completely,
so obviously they could have done, but I probably would have left Harsh out and put Nikita in.
I think so.
What do you think?
Yeah, agree. I think you put all, unless, I mean, it seemed like Harsh was the only one they were really set on, but I think you need to put women in there. From Elnaz's point of view, you need to start framing up some of the women. And I think Nikita, no one really believes it's Janvi anymore. I think maybe you put in Nikita instead of Janvi.
So, yeah. But definitely Nikita, I think they missed a point there.
Good call. And Shula, she's immediately going on the defensive. I'm not a traitor. Orphe is screeching. I can't stand Orphe's voice. It's squeaky. She sounds like a cartoon mouse. And she's so aggro.
Oh, it's too much, isn't it? It's too much. She's never just gently speaking about anything. It's screech, and me being mean to everyone. So I was glad she was put on those four, actually.
Please, someone kill Orphe.
But no one suspects her at this point.
No. Fortunately, in the next time on, it looks like she's going to get some heat, and I'm just, please God.
Yeah.
And this is where we find out Anshula and Elnaz are a bit of a duo. I never knew that.
No.
So Anshula lets her know, look, I need to start looking at Purav, Sudhanshu, Sufi. And Elnaz is, yes, and especially Purav. Because I think, Elnaz is sensing, the faithful need to be fed. They need to get a traitor soon.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I tend to agree. I imagine production wants them to catch a traitor soon as well. And she wants to make sure it's Purav and not her. And then Purav, we didn't mention it before because I'm trying not to get bogged down in the details, which I have a tendency to do. Purav has been doing this bit for the last few episodes where he's in another room making a coffee by himself, and he does this kind of cocky talk to the cameras.
Oh, ick. Blech. Yeah, that's what I said before. I don't like it. Didn't like it that he's coming across as all cocky when he's got no reason to be, and it's not. Yeah, it gives me the ick.
Yeah. And they kind of Elnaz comes in, they kind of reassure each other. Orphe has been pushing Sufi's name today, which really pisses him off. He thought they were over their Instagram beef. They are not. And Elnaz makes Sufi pinky. See, again, this is red flag behavior. This is why it was weird when Rafdar did it. Elnaz makes Sufi pinky swear not to share that she said this, but she thinks Purav is a traitor.
Yeah, just come out with it.
I know. And this kind of narrative's being sold to us here as well, where, everyone's joking with Elnaz about how she's too dumb to be a traitor. And other people are saying, Harsh thinks she's smarter than she's letting on. So that's clearly her shtick.
Yeah. Was that when she was doing the hysterical laughter?
Yeah. She laughs like me, which is a very evil cackle.
Oh, I thought it was a bit of overacting on one of those. Maybe that is it. But I was like, oh my God, it was so, well, for me, I just thought it was a bit much. But, she did really well, but I thought the laughing was, but maybe that's just the way she laughs. Is that the way you laugh, Annabel? Oh my God.
I laugh like an evil cackle. I sound like a witch. Yeah. It's terrifying.
Oh God.
It's this very, when I really get into it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh God.
It sounds malicious.
Yeah, she did. So maybe it was a bit much, but they didn't seem to. And you're right, she's playing on that the whole thing. I can't understand everything you're saying all the time. I think they might wear thin though.
It seems to be wearing thin. So we head to the mission, and the players on trial, they are absent. Everyone else divides into two because they are going to have the chance to save a player, take them out of the trial. They've got to go on a hike, answer some questions, have those answers match the answers the traitors gave, reach a field of gold, collect the gold bars, and place those bars in front of the player they want to save. The one with the most bars is safe. So they were it was a lot of concepts in one here. Both traitors are in the same group. And I loved Apurva is hustling hard. She's like, I do not want Orphe safe. I want Orphe scared for her life tonight. Which is like, you know what? Like, even though she has, Apurva and Sufi have all these, oh my God, we hate Nikita. Oh my God, spite Orphe. They are funny about it. It's funnier than when Orphe's like, I fucking hate her. That peasant doesn't have as many Instagram followers as me.
Yeah, there's a distinct difference. It's a bit like when we say stuff about people. We don't mean it in a malicious way. It's just in an entertainment sort of way, but she's just mean.
So the questions. Who can the traitors trust blindly? Jasmine or Janet?
Jasmine, yeah.
The answer is Janet. Whose presence makes no difference to the traitors? Purav or Janvi? It's poor old Janvi. Even here, because both Purav and Elnaz are in one group, the group without them is like, well, it's obviously Janvi because Purav's a traitor. If you all think Purav's a traitor, why aren't you doing anything?
I wrote that down. They said, everybody keeps saying Purav's a traitor, but why aren't they saying it? Because they're getting distracted at the circle, aren't they? But yeah, you're right. It was poor Janvi again.
And then the third question is causes all the drama this episode.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest threat to the traitors? Sufi or Raftar? Now, Elnaz tells us in a confessional, obviously Sufi is the biggest threat to the traitors, but we want to frame Raftar. We think they think he will have given his own name. We're going to frame him. The right answer here is Raftar. And Sufi, who already hates Raftar, falls for this hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Big time. I mean, it's smart thinking from Elnaz. Not very nice for Raftar, but yeah, absolutely. He completely fell for it. Absolutely. Just wound him up even more than it did, and was kind of the nail in the coffin for Raftar, wasn't it?
Yeah. Keita doesn't buy it. She's like, no, this is clearly a frame job. But everybody else seems to think they're incredibly smart for putting this together. Purva's like, oh, my brain, it amazes me. So they get into the field and the four on trial are like hanging from straw crosses. An entire team gets lost on the way there. So for a good while, Purav is basically single-handedly choosing who to save. He is surprisingly fit, Purav. He's a little guy, like he's a short king.
I thought
speedy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the fittest one.
Yeah. He's putting them all in front of Harsh and Orphe, and others start rocking up. No one wants to save Janvi. She gets like 2 pity bars.
One of them was thrown by Raftar just as like a petulant throw, wasn't it?
I feel so bad for her.
So do I. I do, actually. She's not done anything wrong, really. It was harsh, wasn't it? Harsh.
Yeah. So Orphe, she ends up safe, and Apurva is furious. I'm furious. And post-mission, any momentum towards Purav from this morning has completely stopped thanks to the mission. So people are all back on the Raftar train. Apurva thinks this was a Raj-level giveaway. And Raftar's kind of given up at this point. He gives this solemn, heartfelt rap to Purav.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He knew. He just had enough, though, hadn't he, at that point?
Yeah, he'd had enough.
What could he do? He'd done everything he could have said. He'd said everything, couldn't he?
Dummy dumb Jasmine gets dodo music in the background while telling Janet she thinks Orphe is the traitor. And the Icons Only Alliance, Sufi, Janvi, and Apurva, are just like hating on Orphe. They're just cussing her out, talking. And Sufi turns and makes eye contact with the camera, and he's like, I will talk about your horrible clothes on the internet, and you can't fucking do anything about it. And like, honestly, preach, because I have been wanting to say for 2 weeks now, Orphe's outfits are rank. She turns up to breakfast every morning looking like cheap trash.
Yeah, she does. That was brilliant. I loved his little chat to the camera. That was just brilliant. Yeah,
I love him.
So do I.
Okay, Circle of Shark. Names are Sufi and Raftar. Sufi's like, okay, well, come on then. Ask me some questions. If you've got some evidence, put it on me. Or if he's like, well, actually, I don't have any evidence, but it's my feelings. And everybody promised me at breakfast that they were going to vote for you, so they are. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, What do you mean it's all about... Well, actually, there's no evidence at all, obviously, so it's feelings that matter, and my feelings matter the most because I'm really incredibly famous. Sufi he lays out his theory about the mission really well, and then him and Orphe just start fighting. He calls her a fucking disrespectful bitch.
Yeah.
Raftar throws out about 6 names and argues with Apoorva. Apoorva and Orphe scream at each other. It's just so messy, Jane.
Very, very messy. And this has been the issue for the last 4 round tables, is that all the messiness, all the chaos is just taken away from the people that have actually got the right names, with Purav, who's come up time and time again, just getting lost. He's just sitting there watching, and these other people are just screaming at each other. So it's massively entertaining. I bloody love it. But in the way of getting traitors out, no. That's why Karen keeps applauding them. I love that.
I love him. It is entertaining. There is drama.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed these episodes. They are incredibly bad at this game, and I don't just mean like in terms of catching traitors. They're incredibly bad at keeping suspicion off themselves. They're incredibly bad at being liked by other players in the game. In any way it is, they're bad at the missions. If there's any way of being bad at the game, this cast is doing it.
Yeah. And we're here for it. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The votes come in. So Anshula votes for Apoorva, and then so much for everyone promising Orphe they'll vote with her, because only Purav, Raftar, Nikita, and Orphe vote for Sufi. Everyone else piles on Raftar. And, Raftar, he's just all about, being honest and being true to himself. And he's really hot. Like, I still think Raftar is hot. He's just completely unhinged and a little bit weird.
Yeah, fair point. He does his little quotes at the end, doesn't he, before he goes? I felt bad for him in the end, but he brought it on himself, unfortunately.
He really did. Orphe is so smug afterwards. She's lecturing people. It's cute when Tranna does it. It's not cute when Orphe does it.
No, because it's completely different. Like, Tranna wasn't... She's likeable. She's not arrogant. She's not up herself. And that's the absolute opposite of what our Orphe is. And that's why she's not likeable.
No. And Apoorva's like...
We love Tranna.
I love Tranna so much. Love Tranna.
Yeah.
Apoorva's like, even dumb Jasmine, who understands nothing, could understand the genius of my theory.
She said, who understands nothing. Oh,
Jasmine's crying hysterically now outside. She wants to go home. She's like, it's not Sufi either. I'm even more convinced it's Orphe.
Yeah.
Harsh is running around telling everyone that if he's the one on death row murdered, that Elnaz is the traitor, or it's Apoorva or Janvi. So you can bet everyone will go for one of the other two. Yeah. Sufi's also sobbing in the other room, worried that he's going to be the season villain. Reiterate, no, you are the season icon.
Yes, yeah. I think he said, I thought this could change my life, and now I think I've ruined it. And then cut to Elnaz in a thing. Don't worry, baby, I'm going to be the villain, not you.
Like, bitch, please, try harder.
Yeah.
You want to be the villain? Step it up.
Yeah. Oh, bless him.
And so Sufi goes to the rest of the house and he's like, just feel free, so, vote me out tomorrow so you aren't all distracted and you can find some real traitors and the innocents can win the game. But Elnaz's name is once again floating around everywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to fool me again. And we go to Traitors Tower. So I was like, ooh, Harsh, Janvi, or Anshula. I was thinking it could be Harsh. I was like, even though it's Purav's friend, if Purav wants to frame Elnaz, great move for Purav to banish Harsh or murder Harsh, put the heat on Elnaz for it. But no. Purav's going to be defending Harsh. Elnaz is defending Janvi and Anshula. Unfortunately, in the next time on, they do spoil who goes home. Did you catch that, Jane?
Didn't catch all of it, but no, I didn't. I should have looked harder. But did we see all 3 of the ones then?
We know who is murdered next.
Oh, okay. Do we?
We do. Shall we do do predictions. Who
Okay,
do we, just
yeah.
for the full week, who do we think is getting, 3 people we think are getting murdered, 3 people we think are getting banished? Like, who's not making it through next week?
Murdered. Well, I haven't seen the thing. I thought Janvi was going to get murdered, but I haven't seen the thing. So I'm going to go Janvi definitely murdered. Nikita and our favourite, I've forgotten her name again.
Apoorva or Sufi?
Apoorva. Yeah, Apoorva.
I
murdered.
don't think, okay, I agree. So it looks to be in the next time on that Orphe and Apoorva are going to fight more. So I think we keep those in until one of them is banished. We're going to have a murder in plain sight, and it looks like there's traitor on traitor violence.
Yes.
And Nikita's going to confess potentially to rejecting a recruitment.
Yes.
So I think Sudhanshu, mark him for murder at some point. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Mark Janvi for murder because she's under no suspicion.
Yes.
On the other hand, I think mark Elnaz for banishment at some point because there's more heat on her than
in the
Purav.
next 3. Okay. All right.
I think either Purav or Elnaz have got to go next week.
I think one or the two of them.
And Elnaz has less friends. So I think we'll lose Elnaz, which will then free up Anshula for murder.
Yep.
But Janet, I mean, I guess she's kind of dense, so she's not a super threat. I think I would love to see Orphe go. So banishment, I'm going to say Nikita, they find it sus she confesses. Elnaz and Orphe. So finally, we're getting some women off the table. We're running out of men.
Yeah.
Murders, Sudhanshu, Janvi, and as a result of Elnaz going out, we can lose Anshula as well.
Okay. I think Purav is going to go before her.
Elnaz? Okay. I love that.
Before Elnaz, yeah. I think so. We've only seen little bits, but I get what you're saying about him having more friends, but I've written down here, if I only thought there was going to be one who was banished next time, I thought it was going to be Purav. So we'll see.
Yeah. I would love that.
I don't know. It could go. Yeah, so would I. And it could go either way, but
I can't see them winning. Can you?
No, 100%. No chance. Absolutely no chance. It'll probably be somebody, probably Orphe.
God, don't let that happen. It's going to be some nuffy burgers, like probably Janet or Jasmine.
Yes.
Maybe a Sudhanshu if he sticks around long enough.
Yeah, and I think, and that's what we've been saying recently, isn't it? If you do play that sort of dumb, sort of background player, they're the ones that get to the end and win. Often. Sadly.
Not always. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's been some really good ones. I don't encourage anyone to play that way, but yes, it is unfortunate that we get a lot of dud endings.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I hope Purav goes next week. Next episode even. So are they dropping 3 more next time?
So
at the same
we thought there was only going to be one this week.
Yeah.
So shall I just quickly look up the filming schedule?
Yeah, if they're going to drop 3, because there's only 10, isn't there only 10 episodes in total?
Yeah.
I think.
So it's going to conclude on the 3rd of July. That is not far away. We're recording on the 22nd. 10 episodes in total with 3 episodes released per week. So we are going to have 3 more next Thursday. And then we'll get the finale on the 3rd, which is... So next Thursday is the 26th, and then the 3rd is the following Thursday.
Okay, right, okay.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, 2 more weeks of Traitors India, people.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving it. It's brilliant. I'd love to know if other people are watching it, because it has got subtitles, luckily, but it's been great.
You can watch it on Prime with a VPN. And Jane, if people are watching Traitors India and want to tell you what they think about it, where can people find you to do that?
They can find me on Instagram, Jane Mass 444. And I've had quite a lot of messages this week because our New Zealand season 2 has finally been released in the UK on the iPlayer. So finally, that's really exciting. It's because obviously the UK love the Traitors. So there's a lot of that going on. So I've had a few messages, which has been nice. But feel free to message me and obviously let us know if you've got any questions about this, because I didn't notice that editing mistake last episode, so well done on whoever, I'll forget his name, who saw it. Zach, well done, Zach. What about you, Annabelle?
Yeah, you can find me Instagram, Twitter at Annabel CE, but also please give us a follow over at Babes on the Brink. You can find us everywhere. Let us know in the YouTube comments what you're thinking if you watch this. Leave us a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. Tell your friends that we exist and let us know, if you've got any questions for next week, if you've got any thoughts. Are you loving the crazy as much as we are? We'd love to hear from you. Lots of love. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.